we calmly wait for the choir to settle itself. Good morning, everyone. Our opening words today are by Wisława Szymborska. His poem is called A Note. Life is the only way to get covered in leaves, catch your breath on the sand, rise on wings. To be a dog or stroke its warm fur, to tell pain from everything it's not. To squeeze inside events, dawdle in views, to seek the least of all possible mistakes. An extraordinary chance to remember for a moment a conversation held with the lamp switched off. And if only once, to stumble on a stone, end up soaked in one downpour or another, mislay your keys in the grass, and to follow a spark on the wind with your eyes. And to keep on not knowing something important. We light our chalice this morning in honor of mystery, wonder, extraordinary chances, and the important things we will keep on not knowing. And doing the honors this morning is Leif Sellers. Our opening hymn is number 1000 in our teal hymnals, Morning Has Come. Please rise in body or spirit.
Welcome to First Parish in Bedford, a Unitarian Universalist congregation where we come together every week as a people with diverse beliefs and a shared commitment to bring more peace, more love, more justice, and more joy into this world. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whether you worship one God, many gods, or no God, you are welcome here. I want to say a special welcome to all of our visitors this morning, here in person in the sanctuary and also out on Zoom. Thank you for joining us today. Here in the sanctuary, you're invited to fill out a blue connection card, which you'll find along the pews. You can fill it out and give it to one of the ushers during the offering, or leave it at the welcome table, which you will find just outside the common room. We will add you to our mailing list so you can be kept up to date on all of the important things that are going on here. In Zoom, we will put a link in the chat. You can click on that link and fill out a virtual connection card. Parents and caregivers of little ones, there's a nursery available downstairs for your convenience, but we are always super happy to have our littlest ones right here in the sanctuary with us as well. After the service, there will be coffee and tea and fellowship in the common room. Everyone is welcome to join us. And we have a few announcements today. First, before anything, I want to say congratulations to the 3.5 million people who chose to participate in democracy yesterday. The numbers I'm hearing here are some 35,000 people in Boston and 700 people or more right here in Bedford. So fantastic. Thank you for showing up and speaking up. After the service today, starting at 11:45, First Parish member and financial planner Steve Whiteman is going to be leading a special workshop on understanding our legacy, what legacy means, what our legacy is, what we want it to be, and how to better live into it. There's room for up to 12 people for this workshop. And so in the common room after the service, you'll find a piece of paper on a clipboard with up to 12 slots that people can sign up for. So if you'd like to participate, please sign up, and then upstairs at 11:45 in the bacon room. Tuesday, April 8th, we will be participating in UU Mass Advocacy Day, which is a Zoom event that we will be doing live here at First Parish as a watch party from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So we'll be set up in the bacon room, we'll be on Zoom, but we'll all be together socially. The event starts with a worship service. There's then time for community building. There's a lot of preparation, learning about upcoming legislation, and then in the afternoon, we actually take action. So we reach out and we message legislators, and then we will have a Zoom conversation with Senator Mike Barrett, where we can talk to him directly about what's coming up and what our views and values are. So it is fun, it is a community building event, and it is a great way to make a difference and to really show up with your representative. Now, our final announcement, 3 Sundays ago was the beginning of our annual pledge drive, which ends in 2 weeks on Easter Sunday. If you have pledged, thank you so much. If you have not pledged yet, you can pledge online at our website or contact the office. The goal for this year's pledge drive is $584,000. As of today, we have 84 pledges totaling $306,000. And now to tell us a little bit more about why pledging matters, I'm going to turn it over to First Parish member Mariah Tumbleson-Shaw.
Good morning. As one of the newer members of First Parish in Bedford, I've been invited to share with you what stewardship means to me. Perhaps some of this will resonate with some of you today. Stewardship is the careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. And to me, engaging in stewardship here at First Parish means that I'm committing to taking care of this, our community. Which begs the question, why should we take care of our communities? Shouldn't our communities take care of us? For myself, it's because I believe in the built family. I believe that if I want a kinder, more equitable world that values helping and serving each other, then I must roll up my sleeves and personally put in the work to build and maintain those communities that hold and share those standards. I was first drawn to First Parish because there were already things here that represented what I wanted for myself and for my family. I wanted to be nearer all of the activated people I saw serving in our town government, and I noticed a high proportion of those folks were also part of First Parish. I wanted religious history and sex ed for my kid. I wanted communal music like what we saw this morning that brought such joy to me to be a regular part of our lives. I wanted ways that my volunteering could tie into and amplify good works already happening here in Bedford. And I wanted friendships. Here were people actively serving in our town. Here were people organizing for a more just world, sharing knowledge, being kind, being activated, building community. I wanted to be part of where I saw people doing things, living their values, and I saw this was a place where I could learn, grow, and serve alongside them. I believe that being alive is a gift, and being together in community is an even bigger gift, and I also see it as a responsibility. And that's what stewardship is to me. It's saying yes to that responsibility. It's showing up. It's lending your hand, your voice, and your presence to something larger than yourself. It is how we turn our values into intention, our intention into action, and our action into impact. Soon after joining First Parish as a member, I was invited to serve on the Social Responsibility Council. There I've had the opportunity to serve alongside some amazing people and meeting folks like Avery, that you'll hear later from today from Farrington Nature Link. And that's given me the opportunity to see how our relatively small efforts of time and money and attention ripple outward. They amplify justice, they amplify kindness, and they amplify hope in this wider world of ours. Jamie mentioned in the March Parishioners something that resonated with me. Not everyone may feel called to activism, but every one of us can be a steward. Everyone can be a builder. By being part of this community, everyone can choose to nourish the community that nourishes us. We, as part of First Parish community, are all entrusted to its care. When we choose active stewardship, we're choosing to help each other, to invest in our shared values, and to build a place where love, justice, and kindness can flourish. I invite you to continue building this space with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mariah. And now we are going to share our unison affirmation that we share every Sunday. The words are in your order of service. If you would please rise again in body or spirit. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Este es nuestro gran pacto, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en espíritu de amor, y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. Please be seated. It is time for our story for all ages, and our story today is called The Fall. Once upon a time, there was a leaf who lived on an old oak tree in the deep woods. The leaf had a good leaf life. He enjoyed watching the squirrels scamper about the tree branches. He enjoyed gossiping with the ants about the goings-ons in the distant trees or down on the ground below. He liked swaying in the breeze with his leaf friends or soaking up the sun on a brilliant summer day. And then, beyond all else, he enjoyed being in the presence of the tree. One day, he noticed that his leaf friend, Ralph, on the next branch over, was becoming a little orange. "Cool trick, Ralph," he said. "How are you doing that?" "No idea," said Ralph. "I'm just doing it." "Well, it looks good on you," said the leaf. Throughout the week, Ralph went from orange to a vibrant red, and then one day the leaf was busy talking to a friendly robin when he noticed Ralph wasn't there on the tree beside him. What happened to Ralph? He wondered out loud. He probably fell, said the robin. It's about that time. Time, said the leaf. What time? What are you talking about? You know, said the robin, it's autumn. It's time for the leaves to turn colors and fall off the tree. Fall off the tree, said the leaf. This was news to him. Yes, said the robin, it's what leaves do. Every year you fall off the tree. Well, I have a lot of questions about that, said the leaf. Ask the tree, said the robin. So that is what the leaf did. Tree, said the leaf, am I really going to fall off the tree? Yes, said the tree. I don't want to, said the leaf. I'm sorry, said the tree. Do I have to? Said the leaf. Yes, said the tree. Will it hurt? Asked the leaf. No, said the tree. Will it hurt you? Asked the leaf, very concerned. No, said the tree. Next year there will be new leaves. It is like a circle. Well, what is to become of me? Said the leaf. The wind will take you, said the tree. And where will I go? You may stay very near, right here in this forest. You may fall right beside me among all the leaves you have ever known. Or you may be carried far away. If you land in a stream that feeds a river, you may even end up in the great ocean. No one knows what your journey will be. Maybe the wind knows, but it isn't telling. I don't want to leave you, said the leaf. You are my tree. All things are connected, said the tree. You can never leave me. You will become part of me in a new way, as we are both a part of the earth. You're quite the philosopher, grumbled the leaf. I think that I will stay. Stay a while then, said the tree. So the leaf stayed, and one by one, and sometimes in a great bunch, the leaves around him turned striking shades of orange and red and rust, and one by one, the leaves detached from the tree and floated away with the wind, and the leaf stayed. Are you coming with us? Asked the falling leaves. I think I will stay, said the leaf. And eventually the tree branches were bare of every leaf except the one. It grew quite cold in the forest. The animals began to go underground or to migrate to warmer climates. The leaf was alone with the cold in the deep silence of the woods on winter nights. But he had the tree. You will always have me, the tree reminded him. Presently the forest was blanketed in snow. What is happening under there? Asked the leaf. Well, the leaves are turning into earth, said the tree, to nourish the soil and feed new living things into which they will be reborn. It is a circle. Well, the leaf knew then that he did not belong alone on a barren tree. His edges were tinged with an orangey red, and over the next few days the color spread across the leaf until he was entirely red. It is hard to let go, said the leaf. It is, said the tree. Wind, where will you carry me? Asked the leaf. There is only one way to know that, said the wind. Into what will I be reborn? Asked the leaf. Into everything, said the night sky. I have loved being your leaf, the leaf said to the tree. You will always be my leaf, said the tree. The leaf fell, the wind carried him, the forest was silent and still. That is our story for today. And we're going to sing the children out now to Jason Shelton's Children's Blessing. The words are in your order of service.
Good morning. I'm Cindy Bosnowski, a member of the lay pastoral care team, and we pause in our service to share with each other our joys and our concerns. If you'd like to come up, light a candle, please focus and share something personal. I will remain at the candle stand to do the Zoom calls, and also after the service if anyone has a candle to light in silence. And finally, one candle for those joys and sorrows we keep in the silence of our hearts.
Our meditation hymn is number 352 in your gray or cloth-bound hymnal, Find a Stillness. Please rise in body or spirit. Every first Sunday of the month, First Parish of Bedford gives half of the offering plate to a worthy organization or cause. And this month, half of the plate is going to Farrington Nature Link. And here to tell us a little bit more about that is Avery Adam.
Good morning, and thank you so much for the invitation to come speak to you today. You have a beautiful sanctuary and community here. I don't know if there are pictures on the monitor, but I am here from Farrington Nature Link. We are a small nonprofit. When I mean small, there's 5 of us. And I just started in January, so I made the 5th. We are a small group in Lincoln, just down the street. We are on 75 acres of land that we work to conserve. The original land was owned by a family that we believe dates back to about 1650. The original farmhouse is still on the property, and we work out of the barn. If I can go to the next slide, you'll see our vision statement matches very nicely with what I'm hearing here today. Farrington Nature Link's vision is a just world where every child has a deep sense of belonging in nature and every community values and ensures equitable access to the natural world. I think we all appreciate when we get time outside in our gardens, taking a walk, and we want to make sure that children have that from the very beginning. So we, if you go to the next slide, you will see we bring children to our site, which includes, in the summertime, some goats and some bunnies, and if we're lucky, some chickens. And we bring the children out if we can. But we can't always do that. So the next slide, I'm going to just sort of walk you through a little bit of how we try to weave into these children's lives. We try to serve children in urban Boston communities. Right now, we are primarily focused in Somerville and Cambridge, and we have different levels of engagement that we can do with them because we want to have them find joy, find curiosity, and instill a little bit of stewardship that this is their earth and they need to learn to take care of it from an early age. So we have Explore programs, and those are programs where our staff go into the schools and do after-school programs with them year-round. So last month we were doing some maple work. This time they're working on spring. They were having them dig in the mud this last week because what fun is that, to dig in the mud and find some worms and do some fun things with flowers. And so that's our Explore program, and we are able to touch lots and lots of children with our after-school program. We have Experience, which is our very quick touches that we have with children, and that is very often when they come to us, when we are fortunate enough to get them to us. And I was fortunate to witness some of the groups. Housing Families was one that came out, and those children came to us during February vacation. Believe it or not, we took them sledding, which to a lot of us, not anything of great shock or newness. Some of these children had never been sledding, had never had time to play in the snow. And so to see the joy and excitement and a little bit of fear on their faces as they slid down a little hill and they picked up the pace. And then we put them in snowshoes and let them stomp around in some snowshoes. And we took them inside and did some maple work. So they got a whole bunch of things. And so it's a real treat when we can get them to our site. And so we start with, as we say, an experience, then we explore with them in our after-school programs. Then we expand what they know when we get a little bit deeper time with them in middle school. And we do environmental justice leadership with a very small group of middle schoolers. And that is growing, and we're hoping to have a second cohort next year as we grow that program. And we let them go a little deeper and learn a little bit more and go on nature photography walks or go to the Waterworks Museum or explore around their school. Whatever it is that they are interested in doing, we want to have them be the leaders in that program. And then lastly, we extend our reach even further with some teen programs. And that is something in years past, the teens have actually come back and helped us on site over the summer teach the younger children. So it comes full circle with the teens. You can go to the next slide. You'll see one of the some fun faces around our fire circle on our site, which is a very popular site for s'mores and hot chocolate in the colder months. Next slide. I think you're going to find a young girl exploring the snow, and very apropos, a young child with a leaf exploring around the school. We try to get them to parks and green spaces as much as we can right in their neighborhoods. Before I go, I want to let you know how you can come and see our beautiful land and property. If you go to the next one, we are fortunate enough to have Eyes on Owls coming out to talk to us about raptors, birds of prey, and bring some owls and other birds to us to learn more about that. And that is a way that we try to engage with the community, not just the children that we service, so that the community can enjoy nature, connect with nature, and use our 75 acres. And lastly, nobody can miss baby goat yoga. And we will be having a couple sessions of that in May on the 4th. We have 2 sessions in the morning because, that is that is the ultimate nature time, to have baby goats jumping on you while you're trying to do some yoga. So I thank you. I know it was a quick overview, but we're a small but mighty crew that want to bring nature closer to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Avery. The offering will now be taken. Please give generously as you are able. There's a Buddhist story of a young mother whose son has died in infancy, and the grieving mother is unable to accept that he has died. So she carries the body of the child from household to household in her village, asking each person for some medicine to make him well again. And one of the villagers takes pity on the young mother, seeing that she is lost in her own mind, and she says, "Go and see the Buddha, and he will help you." So the grieving mother takes the body of the child to the Buddha and asks him for a medicine to make her son well. And the Buddha says, "Bring me a mustard seed borrowed from one of your neighbors. But it must be a very special mustard seed. It must come from a home that has never known death, not the death of a parent, a brother, a sister, a child, a friend." So the woman goes from hut to hut in her village, asking each person for such a mustard seed. But everywhere she goes, the people tell her that they cannot help her. "Alas, my brother died 2 years ago in an accident working in the fields. I'm sorry, my mother died last winter. She had a long and beautiful life. We miss her so much. Young woman, I cannot help you. My friend was killed in the war. He was the best man I ever knew." Everyone she meets, their life has been touched by death, and they share their stories with her, stories of grief, of loss, of shared joy and fond memories, of tragic accidents and the inexorable passage of time. And finally, she understands that her story is the human story, and she takes her son, buries him in the forest, and rejoins the living. Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Forrest Church, said, "Religion is our human response to being alive and having to die." So here we are in a house of religion this morning, and our subject is indeed this business of having to die. And what do we make of it, and what do we do with it? And let us begin with the obvious point. No one knows what happens after we die. I don't know. You don't know. It is the great mystery that we all pass into, and no one to date has convincingly been able to report back about what is happening. And Unitarian Universalism does not claim to have any special revelation, any privileged information as to what lies on the other side of the curtain. We are a life-focused religion. Our emphasis is on the here and now. And so convictions about death are not built into our worldview. We believe in life before death, and that is where we are focused. We don't claim to know about after. So what lies beyond that veil? What happens to those who cross over? How much of art and philosophy and culture and religion and music is devoted entirely to this question? This is a poem called Autumn by Rainer Maria Rilke, one such piece of art, translated by Jesse Lamont. "The leaves fall as from far, like distant gardens withered in the heavens. They fall with slow and lingering descent. And in the nights, the heavy earth too falls from out of the stars into the solitude. Thus, everything falls. This hand of mine must fall, and lo, the other one, it is the law. But there is one who holds this falling infinitely softly in their hands." And so Rilke's imagery resonates with our Universalist tradition, which tells us that death is a return to love, that in death we are all received gently by the infinite. As Unitarian Universalists, we are encouraged to engage with the wisdom of many different traditions. So Buddhism, for example, has an image of the self as a wave in the ocean, carried forward for a time before dissolving back into the sea. The death of the individual is not a disappearance, it is a returning to the energy of creation from which it arose, from which new life will emerge. There's a definite truth to this, right? Scientifically speaking, each individual life is, in one sense, a stable pattern of energy and information that abides for a time, maintained in coherence and cohesion against the forces of a universe that tends to entropy and disorder. but then inevitably the wave returns to the ocean. The energy returns to its source. The poets and the mystics speak of the I that is not I, the self that does not die, that is not merely reabsorbed. Metaphysically, we might believe in an eternal soul that exists outside of the dance of matter and energy in some spiritual realm, the way the ancient Greeks and the Platonists and the Neoplatonists did. And this idea was absorbed into Christianity and became the idea of heaven. We might believe in a divine spark that is reincarnated again and again into new living forms, a spiritual belief that should incline one to kindness and compassion with all living things, because you never know if the being that you are interacting with, like right now, is actually the spirit of an ancestor, and the next time around, that ancestor could be you. Some philosophers see in death a mere non-existence, a nothingness. There is a Mark Twain quote that goes, "I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience for it." This was actually a very respected philosophical position in the ancient world. Cicero has a whole essay about this and makes an argument that death is not to be feared because it is not like anything for the one who experiences it. Now I expect, though of course I don't know, that when I die, Jamie Hinson-Rieger as a person will cease to be whatever else may live on. From my scientific perspective, we know too much about the ways that mind and memory and personality are encoded in the body for me personally to believe that all of that exquisite biological machinery could in the end somehow be superfluous, that it could be destroyed and yet somehow the construct that I experience as Jamie could survive. That is my personal belief. And it is very vexing that if I am right about it, I will never know it. That said, many people do report experiencing or witnessing the survival of the self beyond death, or to have interacted with or even communicated with the personalities of people who have died. I don't discount those experiences, even if I don't personally find them ultimately persuasive. I file them under, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. Right? And when you add in near-death experiences and past life memories and mystical experiences and the experiences of healthcare workers and hospice professionals and people who regularly work with dying people who will tell you that unexpected things happen when death is in the room. If you take all of that together, it's not a little bit of mystery, it's a lot of mystery. And of all the things that it is not given to us to know, one of the most difficult pieces of this mystery is the question of when. When will the shadow of death fall on us or those we love? For ourselves, we would like death to arrive on schedule. We hope that death will be a respecter of our plans, will at least in some small way be sympathetic to our priorities. Some people keep their lives in a state of semi-frantic perpetual motion as though busyness itself were a guarantee of immortality. I cannot possibly die today. Who's going to file the quarterly reports? But death keeps its own calendar and cares nothing for ours. In 2008, the Reverend First Church, then at the apex of his ministerial career at All Souls Unitarian in New York, informed the members of his congregation that his esophageal cancer had returned and that his time remaining with them would be numbered in months, not years. And in those last months, he wrote a memoir of his experience called Love and Death, My Journey Through the Shadow. And he wrote, in part in the book, he wrote, "The path of life is strewn with trapdoors." He says, "One day my children and I were almost killed crossing the street right in front of our apartment building. I was walking them to their last day of school. 3/4 of the way across, with the light in our favor and us dutifully holding hands, a car burst out of nowhere, hurling around the corner at breakneck speed, ricocheting off the curve and swerving in our path, missing us by inches. The car skidded, fishtailed back into control, and disappeared down the avenue." He says, "I could barely breathe. My children, in contrast, he says, just laughed, romping blithely down the sidewalk, jumping from tree to tree as they always did, trying to touch the leaves. End quote. Parenting is hard, y'all. Church continues. Our lives are beset with trapdoors. Whenever the ground seems most secure, something out there has its hand on the lever. A coronary, a drunk driver, a vagrant cell multiplying secretly within our body. And when a trapdoor springs, we haven't time for regrets or second chances. It just happens. Swoosh. No goodbyes. My kids had the right idea, he says. We had just escaped from a brush with death. Why didn't I think to jump and touch the leaves? End quote. Death is a part of life. It is inevitable, we know. We can, to some extent, perhaps prepare ourselves, reconcile ourselves to our own mortality. Very little can prepare us for the death of those we love. Acknowledging death can't protect us from the pain of it. Nothing can do that. Right? It hurts when we lose someone. It hurts terribly, whether they have lived a long, full life or whether they are taken from us suddenly and unexpectedly. And we cannot, in turn, protect our loved ones from the pain that they will experience when we ourselves must die. But while we are alive, we can protect them from the loss of wasted moments, petty evasions, shallow interactions, and pointless grudges. We can bless them with the full reality of ourself, shared fully, honestly, bravely. We can take one another on adventures. We can crusade for justice. We can risk for love. The purpose of acknowledging death, of facing the reality that one day we will die, is to goad us not to squander the life we have. It is to remind us of how precious the limited time we enjoy is. It is to remind us to live in the now, love what we have, say what we need to say, and do good while we can. The purpose of accepting death, of making our peace with it, is to empower us to live our lives fully, to really live. Right? Life involves risk, and we should not, of course, be reckless and foolhardy, but neither ought we to let our fears and our self-protective impulses prevent us from living our life to its fullest potential. As the saying goes, boats are safest in harbor, but that is not what boats are for. So that is being alive and having to die, and what of death itself and afterward? Well, I'll share a little of my personal beliefs. When I think of the human experience, sometimes I picture of it as a great symphony that has been playing since before recorded history, really since the infancy of the human species. And as you and I are born, we pick up our own instruments and we join in. Each one of us is playing the music of our own understanding and our own experience, but everyone is also playing off of everyone else simultaneously. So it is a vast improvisation. And we inherit at first the melodies that surround us when we are born, the melodies of our communities and our culture, the melodies of our family and our ancestors, and these may in fact be the predominant notes that we play for our whole lives. But as we grow, we also learn to unlock the music of our own soul. Not as a solo performance, to be sure, as an ensemble piece, because what is our soul anyway but a co-created song? And for as long as we sing, we can't know the destiny of the music that we are creating, individually and together. We can't know what life it will have in the great symphony. It is not up to us. Right? Maybe we sing our song for a while, and it is good and beautiful, and ultimately the song fades away. There's nothing that says that beauty is any less beautiful because it is impermanent. Sometimes it is all the more beautiful for its impermanence, right? That is when people smile knowingly and say, you just had to be there. There is some magic in unrepeated and unrepeatable things, and we know there will always be other songs. But Maybe we play our notes and they get picked up by other players in some other section, maybe a few bars, maybe just the sense of our verve and attitude, or maybe the entire melody is picked up down the line. And then when we are no longer playing, still the music of our soul is echoing throughout the symphony, here and there, and the players who have been moved by it, who carry it forward, who add their own inspiration, and in this way it spreads out throughout the entire piece. And it is that sense in which I do believe that the end of our first life, our mortal life, is the beginning of a second life, the life we live on in others, as a resonance in the lives of all of the people we have touched. It is a different us that lives on in this way, right? In some ways, almost a purer version of ourselves, because it is stripped of the random accidents of our personality and our upbringing. And not every note we play survives, but still the music of our soul is echoing through the symphony, carried on by other players. And how long it sustains and how far the sound travels, who can say? There are melodies that have been echoing throughout the symphony of humanity for generations, each one the unique song of a human soul, and perhaps they will fade and perhaps not. But we each get our chance to play, however briefly. And for the brief time, it is our playing, all of us playing together, that sustains the entire piece. We are singing each other's souls into being. We are the breath of our ancestors, and we are weaving the songs of future generations, all of us together, right now. We can't know how long we have to play. We can't know who all is moved by our song. And maybe it's true, we've even reached a point in our life where we feel we're not as sharp as we used to be. Maybe we're tired. Maybe we feel scattered or worn down. Maybe we're worn with grief. Maybe our playing is off or not what it once was. But I believe if we're living each moment with integrity, then the richness of our soul shines through in our playing no matter what. In the last week of my grandmother's life, when her health and strength were failing and her time was unmistakably nearing its close, as one of her last acts on earth, she sent a birthday card to my daughter Claudia for her 18th birthday. She put $18 bills in it, one for each year, the same thing she had done for every grandchild for every birthday. She wrote the card out herself, she addressed the envelope herself, she stamped and mailed it herself, because that is who she was. And I will always remember that simple act of love from the last week of her life. And it is my faith, and it is an element of faith, that love endures most of all. As we ourselves then finally pass on to mystery, it may well be that even the last notes we sound will echo on through the symphony for generation upon generation, too many to be counted. It is not given to us to know. What else then but to play while we can with courage, integrity, and love. Blessed be, and amen. Our closing hymn today is number 128 in your gray hymnal, For All That Is Our Life. Rise and body your spirit. Our closing words today are a Gaelic blessing. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the gentle night to you. Go in peace.
For this piece. It's Sharon McDonald, and she's signing the piece. So you're not going to hear her, but you're going to see her.